You know, there was a time when wearing a backwards cap was like the epitome of cool. And let me tell you, that time is long gone. I put this on and I was like, that does not look cool, man. And there's nobody out there still going, this is cool looking. And if they are, you're horribly mistaken. Anyway, I'm going to ride solo today. Guntik was supposed to be here, but man, that boy be snoring up a storm, guy. So anyway, we're going to do a little haul. And then we're going to follow that up with an unboxing of a couple of shipments from one of our viewers, the great Brad Peterson. Love him. And we'll see what he has in store for us. But let's get the stuff that I have here because I've just been building up for a month. And let's get to it, baby. Let's start off with some movies. Let's start off with a stinker, man. The Punisher, the Thomas Jane led version. This movie is god-awful, but I found it for $1. And, you know, I had to add it to my comic book movie collection. And, boy, man, I knew this movie was bad. I mean, it has that rep among us here. Even though there's some people out there that love it, but, man, it's stinky, boy. I rewatched it thinking, you know, I'm always there to give something a second chance. Third chances, fourth chances even sometimes. And let me tell you, this thing was worse than I remembered it, man. Absolute dog shit. Bad, man. Super bad. So, I don't know what to say other than to say that aside from the horrible, like, a Via Rod style of a superhero movie, we have this guy right here as the major culprit to why this blows. And that's John Travolta as one of the least menacing, least cool villains. The fucked up part is that they basically created him for this movie. You know what I'm saying? The storyline that they were kind of adapting had its own proper villains in the comics that would have been great. This guy stinks. I hate it, man. Ah, man, and that's just such shitty moments. You know, corny, garbage moments. Acting's bad. You know, it just projects itself too much. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. You know what I do like, though? That's a comic book movie, but ironically, people don't like this one, and that's Black Adam, which I thought was actually pretty rad, man. Black Radam, I call him. Yeah, you know, I've said in the review of it that this should have been more focused on the Justice Society, although, I mean, they have quite an amount of time being portrayed in the film, but it should have literally been Justice Society movie with Black Adam as the bad guy, and that's how we introduced him. But it's more Black Adam focused, and that's fine, though. I really enjoy this movie. I really liked all the portrayals that they did there. I would have been perfectly okay with more of those, but alas, disaster happened. But anyway, next up is something that I've been waiting for years for, and that is a good version of Cemetery Man. This one released by Severin Films. This is the Blu-ray version. I didn't get the 4K because, you know, I'm not a 4K cultist and not everything needs 4K, and this looks perfectly fine in my stinking eyes. But, yeah, you know, there's only been, I think, like, Anchor Bay was the only one that had released it on DVD long ago, and, you know, obviously this transfer wasn't amazing. But this is a weird movie, man. This is a movie from Michele Soavi, which was Dario Argento's protege. And it looked like he had a very promising career, but he ended up having to leave the industry to take care of his son, which is admirable. You know, son ill in certain ways, if you will. And but he left behind quite a legacy with the church, the sect, and this, and of course all the other stuff that he worked on as a cinematographer. But his directed films, this is the most renowned one. And it's a weird one, man. I mean, narratively speaking, it's all over the place, but in a charming way. You know, it's definitely something that I kind of marvel at it having such a large cult, because it's not very viewer friendly unless you're really familiar with that particular style of stuff. But anyway, super excited that that's finally in my hands. Another thing that's finally in my hands is The Lair of the White Worm. Ken Russell movie, adaptation of a Bram Stoker movie. If you know Ken Russell, you know this one's going to be weird. Unfortunately, it also suffers from some very dated effects. But, I don't know, man. It's Ken Russell. There's a weird, like, bizarre, dark humor to it. Early Hugh Grant role, by the way. And, yeah, I mean, I just can't pass up on a Ken Russell movie. I wish we'd get something like The Devil's released, which would be amazing. But that's probably never going to happen. But in the meantime, we have this. and it's that steelbook version. That's not the reason I got it. It's just literally because that's the copy that was available. So that's cool. Very excited about that. Then we got a game that Gunta got for free, so he gave it to me, and that's Batman Arkham Knight. Now, I'm not a big gamesman. You know, you might say Al Smith and I share that because, you know, we clearly don't play games a lot. Even though he has like 10,000 consoles. I can say this. I have played more than he has. And I super don't play games. But I know for a fucking fact that I have played more games, more hours than he has. So that's a conundrum. But anyway, haven't played this, so we'll see what's up with that. I hear nothing but good things about that series, so there you go. Next up, we got Mars Attacks. This was just a slipcover re-release of the available Blu-ray. But this is an underrated Tim Burton flick. I had to add it to my Tim Burton collection. It was mad cheap. So, yeah, man, I absolutely love this film. I think it's a shame that it failed and that it still kind of doesn't get the appreciation it should. But it is a weird one, so, you know, I guess I kind of get that. But, yeah, you know what other film flopped in the freaking box office, and that's Kevin Costner's recent Western, Horizon, an American Saga. Which, you know, man, I love Kevin Costner, you know, even through his failures. But, god damn it, that was a weird approach to making a movie, you know. You can't make open-ended movies. You can't make movies where it's just set up, you know, it's not how movies work, man. So I'm hoping he restructures it into a series or something, because the failure was heard around the world, let's just say that. Because I do want to see an epic Western from Kevin Costner, because they always rock. So I have a feeling that there's a great movie waiting to be seen. It's just that movie happens to be 4 long-ass movies long, so just make a fucking series out of it. But anyway, this movie didn't fail, and it stars Kevin Costner, but he didn't direct, and that's McFarlane USA. You know, it's your standard, you know, inspirational true life story, you know, where it's like coach helps underprivileged kids find their potential type of formula. But it's a really good one, man. I really enjoyed this one. And of course, it's got the Latino link, so, you know, can project myself on there, I guess. Although I can't run for shit, so there's that. Anyway, Knives Out, Rian Johnson. I mean, arguably this movie like kind of reinvigorated the mystery genre. You know, so there's that. And there's going to be a lot more of them by the looks of it. So that's pretty cool. Here's the big one for me. That's, yes, Vinegar Syndrome's release of Prophecy 1, 2, and 3. It's got both 4K and Blu-ray in here. Remastered. Look, the previous releases were this pitiful fucking Blu-ray that just looked like a DVD had been transferred onto a Blu-ray. I love Prophecy 1 and 2 so much. Part 3 is severely flawed. But the good thing is that you could just watch Prophecy 1 and 2 and you're like, yeah, that's a complete story. You have no idea how fucking obsessed I was with Prophecy 1 and 2 during high school. I mean, I would inscribe all the symbols onto my stuff. I would just mimic the characters. I knew the lines. I don't know, man. This like incited a whole obsession with angelic and demonic warfare in me. Really love them. They're not perfect movies, but man, there's just something that I absolutely fucking love. Their movies are ambitious as hell in terms of their storytelling, and they have a lot of gumption. And I mean, Chris Walken's fucking great as the Archangel Gabriel. There's a lot of stuff in there that is so meaty for me. I love them, and I was very glad to get this. I could have gotten the slipcover version, but I kind of didn't like how the slipcover opened in a diagonal fashion. So I just got this version, and that was a long time coming for me. I love that, I could put my Blu-rays to rest, the old ones. Let's see what else we got here. Seinfeld, seasons 4, 5, and 6. So now I got all the seasons except for 7. Which I need to get ASAP. Seinfeld, still a classic. Some people are trying to basically make it seem like Seinfeld is out of step with the times, and It's not relevant anymore. And to those people, I say, shut the hell up. 1, 2, hey, we can agree on this. Jerry Seinfeld, the man, is kind of a jerk and stupid. But that show is amazing. Love it to this very day. Next up, we got this Detective Comics 27 stylized Batman. Now, there was 2 of these at the store, and I was going to go get both of them, but they had already sold one. So, Goontick, you're out of luck. And the reason I'm keeping it is because he's got 1,000,000 Batman, dude. He's got 1,000,000 Batman. They barely fit. Also, I found the Asheville that he has, and he bought it. So, he broke the rules. So, there you go. But anyway, just finding an excuse for me to keep it. Next up, we got... Oh, let me show this little boy right here. Zodak. Pretty cool guy, holding his little gun. Then we got this pop cover of Fijación Oral from Shakira. Continue my Shakira collection of pops. We got this little Elvira on the couch with Gonk. That was the dog's name, right? Gonk? Maybe it says back here. Don't care to read. Anyway. Love that, man. Love these Toonie Terrors. Gonna take that out and display her. Then we got, man, this is so perfect, man. Now, I've been a big fan of She-Hulk since forever, okay? And I know some of you are thinking, but that show sucked. I haven't even seen the show. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna see it. But, yeah, as far as She-Hulk, you know, Sensational She-Hulk era, all the way to the Dan Slott stuff, I was reading that boy. You know, and this here, Marvel Legends, retro style She-Hulk, is the She-Hulk figure. If you're a She-Hulk fan, or if you just want the definitive She-Hulk figure, this one is it. Look at it. It's perfect. It's a John Byrne era She-Hulk. Man, I love that. Kind of want another one, man. Love it so much. Next up, we got this guy right here, man, that I had in my collection. And unfortunately, it was lost to the hands of pitiful cops. You know, cops, man, they'll come in and they'll ransack you, boy. I'm gonna be straight up. But anyway, they ransacked me of old Candyman here. This is from the Movie Maniacs line from McFarlane back in the day. There was a time where you could find hundreds of these lining the big lots. You know, they couldn't get rid of them. But now, of course, they're a little bit more scarce. And it's always impossible to find one at a decent price, you know. I'm not gonna pay over $30 for this. You know, as much as I love Candyman, the mere fact that I know in my stinking dome that there was thousands of these littering fucking big lots makes me say I'm not paying over $30. So I didn't pay over $30. I just paid $15 total shipped, and more importantly, his hook is intact. This was always broken if they come loose. You can buy them in the box, but again, you're getting into, you know, more money territory there. But intact. Coated it with some resin just to make sure it stays intact. Gonna put him in my Clive Barker collection where he belongs. Love that, man. Love to be reunited. It feels so good. Next up, we got another movie maniac, but of the recent ilk, and not necessarily a maniac. Boom. The Dude, man, from the Big Lebowski. Of course, Big Lebowski, my favorite comedy of all time. You know, I mean, if No Country for Old Men hadn't come out, it'd be my favorite Coen Brothers movie. Love that this is a thing. You know what I'm saying? Now I'll say this, and I'll insert the picture here. This came leaning like a cholo in the original package. We had to return it and get another one because not only was it leaning forward badly, warped by the heat, but the ties had cut into his leg, so he looked like he had high blood pressure problems. So thankfully they did send us a replacement, and it looks fucking great, man. I love this, man. Thanks to the Goontick for that. He was like, I'm gonna pre-order that for my boy like a few months ago. And I was like, man, that's my boy. Anyway, next up, found this for $25, bro. Look at that. Yes. Love Scarlet Witch. You know, I love Elizabeth Olsen as Scarlet Witch, even though they kind of underuse her and kind of have messed up the landing on a lot of this potential for the character from the comics. But here we have Diamond's Gallery statue, I believe. But, I mean, that's awesome, bro. I love that. I love that. I think it's from WandaVision, which I didn't love. But it looks great. What can I say? Then This was given to me by a work compatriot, shall we say. And this is the Black Label Harleen series book 1. I have book 1, but I have the other cover, or an alternative cover. I don't know how many covers they made. I wanted this cover, but I could never find it when it was released, even though I think this is the most common cover, or at least the most well-known. But, so, yeah. Circumstance had brought it to me. Now I could go into my Harley collection. Hell yeah. And, speaking of Harley, before we get to the packages from Brad, let's get through a lot of these pops that I got to flesh out my Harlection, and that's Harley with Bat. You know what I'm saying? A little Bat, a little Harley. Makes sense. Then we got Harley from the animated series here with her mallet. By the way, animated series. Super awesome. Here we got Harley with weapons. Super cool. And then we got this, what was it, New 52 design, I believe? With pizza. Was it New 52 or Rebirth? Yeah, New 52. Then we got this 100-year anniversary WB version of Harley. With a little winking face. And the thumbs up. And this Harley Quinn from, on Apocalypse, I'm sorry. Little gear change there. Pretty rad too. And not Harley Quinn, but Bella Porch Pop. Boom. Now I can build a bitch. And Sam Pop, which I think of all of them is probably the most apropos to the style. Courtesy of Goontick, those. Very cool, man. Oh, and how dare I forget, before we get to Brad stuff. Boom. Why Am I Forever Unloved? The debut novel from Nigel Starkley, in heavy quotes. And yeah, man, Nigel is a compatriot of our constant viewer, Miles Estrada, our boy. And, you know, Nigel is a little wary of his first endeavor into writing here, into publishing, I should say. But I think that Nigel, quote unquote, should rest easy because he's a very talented writer. So even his early work, I'm sure, will be fantastic. But anyway, if you want to support our boy Nigel and his friend Miles, this is now on sale. Can't wait to get into it. Haven't yet. Kind of a little afraid, man. You know what I'm saying? In a good way, though. But anyway, now let's get to these packages from Brad. I'm going to open them up because they're still sealed. And we'll cut to that. Alright, we got them open. Let's dig into the first and smaller of the two boxes and see what's up. Put that on the side there. Reach in. Boom. A little Stay Puft Popsies. I think these are from Funko. I have a Harley one. And what does this one say? I ain't afraid of no... I mean, oh, well, he's not a ghost. He's a stinking marshmallow man. Piloted by God. So, shouldn't be afraid of ghosts. But anyway, a little Popsy there. Pretty cool. Pretty sure freaking Goontick's gonna be like, give me that Popsy. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna pop you one straight in the freaking maw there, guy. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, I'm keeping this one. The Goontick has like 10,000 Ecto 1, so I gotta have one, guy. Ecto 1 from Jada Toys. We'll go right alongside my, what's it called? I was gonna say the Shaggin' Wagon. The Mystery Machine from Jada Toys that I have. Pretty cool, man. I've never had an Ecto 1, believe it or not. Though a Ghostbusters fan, clearly I am. Never had one, man. What is that? We got a slip-covered DVD of Let Me In. Now, Let Me In, of course, is the American version of Let the Right One In. Let the Right One In is one of my favorite, man, it might be my favorite vampire movie ever. Either way, love John Ajvit Lindquist. I may be mispronouncing his name. All his stuff is great, and the movie adaptations they've done of his work have always been really good. That includes the American version of Let the Right One In, which I don't have. So, boom. Cool. Very, very cool view. Bradley. Let's see, we got a shark flick, apparently. I hope so. Sharks on a Plane is peak cinema. Okay, it's called No Way Up. Now, of course, if you know me, you know that I have a bad history with shark films, as should everyone, because, you know, shark films largely blow nut. And they just can never catch up to the glory of Jaws, you know. But I'm all for apparently sharks on a plane. So, you know, if Bradley says I should watch it, I think I should. Let's see, we got some more right here. We got God's Country, starring Fandy. Isn't her name Fandy Newton, not Fandew Newton? Have I been wrong this whole time? Huh. Anyway, I may be horribly wrong about the way I've pronounced her name the whole time. But anyway, God's Country. I have heard of this, kind of like a neo-western style movie. I love neo-westerns. Apparently it's freaking certified fresh, so there's a damn good chance that it rocks. Check that out. See what's up with that. Let's see, Finest Kind, starring Ben Foster and Tommy Lee Jones' weathered ass face. We got a Chris Pine flick, which, man, he's a guy that kind of is not, I mean, theoretically he should be like in the A list, but he's not. But he's also not in the like Z grade level. But anyway, Chris Pine, this is a Blu-ray, so we'll check that out. And it looks like a thriller type of thing, like a political thriller, maybe like a action thriller. Chris Pine at his best, says some person that I've never heard of. I'll take your word for it, chum. Next, we got the Marsh King's daughter. Oh, I wanted to see this. Marsh King's Daughter with Daisy Ridley and Ben Mendelsohn. Good catch there, Brad. I really wanted to see this one. See what's up with that. Little thriller. Pretty rad. Pretty rad from Brad. Let's see what else we got here. The Faculty and Phantoms, man. Now, I'm not going to say the requisite line from about Phantoms, because fuck that. But I actually really enjoy Phantoms. It's, you know, I mean, there's not a lot of them. In fact, you might say there's almost none. But there's not a lot of good Dean Koontz adaptations. But this one's good. It's pretty loyal to the material. Now, obviously, the more, shall we say, bigger concepts kind of, you know, are not represented in this version. But pretty good approximation of the book, man. I mean, The Faculty, I mean, come on. I mean, it's a Robert Rodriguez classic. A little 2-pack. Oh, man. There's one downside to this, and that's that it's a flipper disc. If there was ever a greater sin in home disc ownership, I don't want to know what it was. The flipper disc is not great. Next, we got a movie called Aporia from a person called Jared Moshe, which apparently I'm supposed to know because they really prominently put that there. But it's got Judy Greer starring in it. She's cute. I don't know what this is about. Since losing her husband Mel in a drunk driving incident, Sophie has struggled to manage crippling grief. Now I got some crippling briefs on right now. Let me tell you, they're pinching. Anyway, a full-time job and the demands of parenting her devastated teenage daughter. When her husband's best friend Jabir, a former physicist, reveals that he has been building a time-bending machine. Alright, you got me at that, boy. I mean, we got some time travel going on. She's going to try to fix things and it's going to blow up in her face. I mean, that's classic. Let's see what else we got here. It's a Wonderful Knife. Cool, man. Been meaning to see this. It's one of those things where you're like, I'm going to see that, and then you never do. And it's always like permanently on some list. So that's cool. A little slasher flick that came out recently, I think like last year, I think. Pretty rad. Now I have no excuse to not watch it. Oh, this is cool. Okay. So I have Chinatown on Blu-ray. I mean, should have it. I mean, it's a classic, man. But I don't have a copy of The Two Jakes, which is the lesser known follow-up to it. I think it was like decades later they released it. So now I do, thanks to the Brad man himself. Hell yeah. RoboCop, the remake. Now I know this is maligned in many circles, and I get it. I mean, it's not Paul Verhoeven's classic old 80s mania there, but it does maintain like the social commentary elements, and it's, I guess, a more serious approach. Sleek, Yes, it's not as brutal. But I will say this. Though I do enjoy this, the ending confrontation is wieners, man. What is that? Michael Keaton? What was that? Oh, and here we got two stinking Pacino classics, man. Dog Day Afternoon and Serpico. I mean, what can you say? Those are just... they're freaking all-time classics, guy. So, Al hasn't seen them, probably. You know what I mean? It's doing a freaking film that never sees films, guy. What is that? Next box. Got some requisite protection there. And we got some comics. Now, these came a little bent, but let's see what we got. We got Ghostbusters Back in Town, number 2 and 4, and it seems to be like a follow-up to... why do I forget the... How did I forget the name of the one before Frozen Empire? Anyway, Ghostbusters Answer the Call, so Al already hates the shit out of this. Number 4, which I'm assuming that's supposed to be Melissa McCarthy. Hope not. We got number 3 right here. Patty. We got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Annual 2021. Cover A. You know, the new run, which I think is being still overseen by Eastman or Laird, one of the two. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 83. Boom. Batman 89, 4 of 6. Oh wow, that's cool. It's called Highway. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, Highway to Hell, and it's one of those comics that like recount stories from wrestlers. Hold on, let's see. Tales from the Road. They're called Headlocked. Tales from the Road, and this one's based around a story by Rob Van Dam. That's cool. Didn't expect that. Some more flicks. Beyond Jurassic Park's a definitive behind-the-scenes look at Jurassic Park. Very cool, man. You know, I remember one time Al made a video where he complained, or was it a post? Video or a post where he complained about Zack Snyder releasing behind-the-scenes, you know, stuff about Army of the Dead, I believe it was. And you're like, why do we need that? And it's like, dude, anytime any filmmaker gives you an insight, or you know, doesn't even have to be the filmmakers, just any insight into film production, you got to take advantage of that, man. It's becoming rarer as time goes by, too. So, this is cool. Then we got this Horror Unleashed collection. Now, Guntik's going to be like, God damn it, because he bought this like about a half a year ago. But now I can see it because I need a copy of The Seventh Sign, which is a movie that I enjoyed, man. But maybe I enjoyed it because I was in my, like, Angels versus Demons phase of horror movie watching, courtesy of The Prophecy. So maybe that's why I enjoyed it, and it actually sucks. But maybe it doesn't. We got Stop Motion, a recent release. Pretty cool, man. Actually, I downloaded this in a not so legal sense to watch it because I was gonna buy, if it was good, I was gonna buy the disc. So I mean, Brad coming in to save the day, guy. Oh, cool. Hold on, gotta pick up this shit over here. All right. We're back, and we're with Immaculate, a movie that digitally was not immaculate because the digital release was insanely dark. But I've been, again, meaning to watch this one for a while now. And it's got Sydney Sweeney, which will make Guntik swoony, if you will. But, yeah, man, heard a lot of good things about this one. Looking forward to it. I'm, of course, a big fan of religious horror, if you will, or yeah, I guess that's what you'd call it. So, super looking forward to that. Man, Brad is just bringing out the hits, guy. Tom Sizemore in Imperatus, The Devil Will Confess. Man, this has got to be the smallest summary ever in the back. Let's see. A detective is summoned to a remote hospital to witness Civil War veterans' outrageous deathbed confession. Okay. Tom Sizemore is mad dead himself, so... And he, let me tell you, you didn't want to hear his deathbed confession. Woof! But, haven't heard of this movie. Let's see what's up with that, man. Oh my God. Bradley, I both love you and hate you for this one. Oh man. Jaws the Revenge. Alright, look. Obviously, Jaws, one of the greatest films of all time. Absolutely love it. And everybody knows that the sequels blow. But of the sequels, I would only ever want to own this one. Because it blows the hardest. But at the same time, it's so awful that you don't want to own it. But now I own it, and I both love and hate that. Super cool, man. This is quite, and Brad's really bringing them out. RoboCop 2, Scream Factory version, no less. I actually really enjoy RoboCop 2. Of course, it's no RoboCop 1, but I think there's a lot in there to like and enjoy. Unlike RoboCop 3, which it's not good. So, RoboCop 2 Scream Factory version, man. Super grateful for that one. Here we go. Oh, I read it at first. I thought it said penetrator, but no, it's a perpetrator. Which I guess, you know, a perpetrator can penetrate. Seems to be like a little vamp flick. It's a Shudder movie, and they usually churn out pretty cool stuff, man. They you know, either where they're producing or they just buy exclusive rights to release them. So far, a lot of the stuff has been pretty much, you know, on the money. So, Perpetrator, look forward to seeing that. Perpetrating something with it. Don't even know what that means. Next up, we got Cobweb, another movie I've been meaning to see. It's got a lot of good buzz. So, that's freaking cool. Hope I like that one. Because it seemed like to be something that I would like. Next, we got Mars Attacks on DVD. Hey, I'm not opposed to... Now I got it on DVD and Blu-ray. I'm not opposed to owning multiple copies of movies that I love. Oh my God, look what's next. Oh no. Jaws 3. No, I mean, of the shitty sequels, Jaws 3 would be the second that I would not mind owning because it sucks. It's so bad, man. Like, nothing happens, and when it does, you're like, that sucks. And the 3D aspect gotta be some of the worst 3D ever made. Hate that, and now I own it. Awesome. Here we go. Al's gonna flip out, man. He's gonna be like, why is that not me? Well, it's me, baby, and that's Titanic. Oddly enough, I don't have Titanic, and it's always because I was like, you can always get Titanic, you know, somewhere. But I don't want the new 4K remaster because of the smushy face syndrome that James Cameron seems to love now. So this is absolutely perfect. This is the multiple formats version. And there you go, man. Now I have to force Guntik to watch it. He hates, but I think he's seen it, but you know, he's on that hate. But I mean, I love Titanic. It's a freaking classic, man. Next up, we got apparently Family Feud. It needs batteries, but it's a handheld Family Feud little system there, man. 97, Tiger Electronics. Alright. I can only say that my experience from Family Feud has been with seeing clips of Steve Harvey being funny, I guess, if you want to call it that. So I guess I'll have to figure out how to play Family Feud. That, I gotta say, that's kind of like a random one. Like all this stuff and then all of a sudden, Family Feud? Oh, we got the accompanying Family Feud survey book that comes with that. And I think we got one last thing in here. A flick. Let's see what it is. It Lives Inside. I haven't heard of this one, but apparently it's from the producers of Get Out. I hate when they do that. From the producers of blah blah. Like, dude, who gives a shit about the producers, man? Captivating new spin on demonic horror, nail-bitingly suspenseful and unsettling, says the blurbs. Sam is desperate to fit in at school, rejecting her Indian culture and family to be like everyone else. Oh, wait, I did hear about this. Yeah. When a mythological demonic spirit latches onto her former best friend, she must come to terms with her heritage in order to defeat it. Okay, yeah, hell yeah. Alright. I did hear about that. I just didn't remember that it was called that. Man, I mean, Brad brought out the hits, man. That's quite the freaking haul. I mean, how can you ever be grateful for that kindness, man? It's super awesome of you. Love all that stuff. Oh, man, Jaws of Revenge. I can't say I love Jaws of Revenge. But, you know what? I'll say I love Jaws of Revenge because Jaws 3D I don't love. But anyway, love that I have it, though. Anyway, that's it, guys. Tell us what you thought about this haul and about this awesome and kind gift from Brad. In the meantime, we're out.